Thank you, thank you. So I am Tina. I like to call myself Stars Tina. Before I tell a little bit about myself, I'm just curious in here, who is 100% positive, ready, and they know exactly what they want to do with their life and their career to fitness? Anyone? Super hot. What do you want to do?
Physical therapy.
More. Like where? Where do you want to work? Physical therapy.
Like an outpatient center.
Okay, what about you?
I want to do occupational therapy and pediatrics and spinal cord injuries.
Okay, anyone else?
Pediatric outpatient.
So cute. What about you? Love it. Anyone else have any idea? Or you're kind of like, I don't know. And I asked this question because I remember when I was in college, just like you, there was a gym on Route 22, and I loved taking classes. I was like, oh, I want to be a fitness instructor. I want to do fitness, blah, blah, blah. And I went to school for it. And then I looked at how much instructors got paid for the year. And I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. And I changed my major. So I say that to say is I wish I had someone like me when I was in school to show me all the different opportunities and roads you can make in regards to making money, whether it's owning your own business or whatever it is. So this is my first time using a clicker. I'm so excited. Okay, so pretty much. Today it's going to be really simple. I just want you to know, if you have any questions, any concerns, raise your hand, stop me. I'm not one, I want this to be interactive. If you feel you have to stand up, do some squats, you might do some burpees in here, I don't know. But we have to keep the energy going, alrighty? That's one thing that I'm known for is my energy. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I have always had so much energy. And like I told you, when I was in school, I thought about this, and then I just kind of quickly changed my mind. I've always been into sales. You name it, anything with sales, I did it. Why? Because sales is a lot of money. I've always liked to have money, and that's exactly what I did. So today I'm going to tell you about myself. Also, I'm going to talk about the different types of clients because I understand from what you showed me, this is about motivating clients. I'm a personal trainer as well as teaching classes. Then I'm going to teach you ways how to motivate people and then your target audience. All right, I don't know why I'm clicking this. That was wrong. Sorry about that. Okay, so like I told you, I did sales all over the place, and then it got to the point where in your life, and the reason why I asked you guys what you want to do, because when it comes to working, if you don't love it, then you probably don't want to do it. Does anyone here want to work? I don't know about you. I don't want to, no, I don't work. I want to party, I want to have fun, I want to have a wonderful life, and that is what I'm doing now. So once you find your passion, it doesn't feel like work anymore. And I always say my passion is fitness. I love it. I eat, I sleep, I breathe, anything with fitness, and each year it just gets bigger and bigger. I keep training for different things. Along with that, I said my passion is fitness. I love it. And I believe that God gave me a purpose. Every single one of you have a purpose. You just have to figure out what that is. And my purpose is to change the world through health and wellness. And right now, I just want everyone to think about that one thing you could do every single day. And I'm not talking about sleeping or eating or, that sort of stuff. But what's something you can do every single day and just love it? Anyone would love living in a gym lifting weights? Anybody like doing that? Okay, maybe motivating someone. Sounds like nothing, but you can make so much money doing that. And I say that because I want you to think about your why. Why do you want to do what you want to do? Why are you thinking about fitness? Why are you even in this room? And for me, I used to be over 200 pounds. I should have like a before and after picture up there, but I don't. And when I first started my fitness journey, which was about 9 years ago, it was to get to look good in clothes. And then after that, after I lost the weight, I always say, whatever you want to do, just kind of peel that onion away. Just keep asking why. You may say you want to make money. Why? Peel it down. So for me, my deeper why was my father died when he was 49 years old. Looking at him, he's fit, he's fine, but he had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all of those things. Similar to like when you guys are in class and you have to take like a nutrition class. And I remember in my book, I was in the car with my dad. I'm like, Dad, everything on here, you're gonna die. You're black, you're a male, you smoke cigarettes. I'm saying this to him, and then a couple years later, he died. So that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about fitness and helping other people. My grandmother, another one who died super young. I'm not into all the statistics because it would piss me off in regards to black women that are dying or overweight or all that stuff. Don't even mention children. So long story short, that's my passion. You need to figure out what your passion is and realize you have a gift inside of you. I don't know what it is, but it's there. So I was doing sales, love the money from sales, let's get it right. And I was working for the newspaper, I was working for all this stuff, and right after I had lost weight, I was at the gym. And I don't know about you, but I don't really like paying for personal training. I did, and personal trainers, they don't tell you anything unless you're paying. So I said, maybe if I work at the gym, I'll get a free membership. So I started working at the gym, and I started teaching. I got into sales at the gym. So depending on where you are, you can make a lot of money with sales. And where I was at first, it was New York Sports Club. They're closed now. I was in Princeton. I'd make $100 a sale, meaning to get someone to join the gym. So I loved it. But then the market changed, and they changed our pay from $100 a sale to $10 a sale. I'm like, dude, I can't make any money with this. So I stopped doing that and did personal training, one-on-one personal training. Now, when you're in a gym, a huge big box gym, so there's all different types of gyms, and you might want to decide what type you want to work in. You have huge big box like Lifetime, New York Sports Club, LA Fitness. Then you have the smaller ones like maybe a Crunch, maybe like Planet Fitness. You see how the scale goes down. Then you have above a Lifetime where you might have a cycle bar, a Pilates bar. Those are what you call boutique studios. And the prices change with your membership. For example, at a YMCA or a Crunch, you might pay $20, $30, $40, something like that. LA Fitness, as you go up, that gets even higher, $50, $60. And then the boutique studios, you're paying like $100 minimum. Think of CrossFit studios a month for that right there. So I'm teaching in this gym, doing personal training, and it's very challenging when you're a new person. You get out of school, you've mastered. Now mind you, I didn't do my course in class. I'm ACE certified. Failed the first time by 1 point. I'm so freaking pissed. But then I started working at this gym, New York Sports Club, and I'm the newbie. And do you think anyone's throwing me clients? No. You think anyone's teaching me anything? No. It's like, and then you learn all this stuff. It's so different. So my manager, she said, well, Tina, if you start teaching classes, then you'll get the people from your class to be personal trainers. So I said, okay, I'll get certified in body pump. Body pump is amazing. It's an all-weights course. I did that, and then my clientele started picking up. And each year, I wanted to learn more. Another tip I wanted to tell you guys, because this is about making money. We all want to make money, right? Whether you're finished school or not. So before I got certified in my course, I was losing weight. I was, doing what I have to do, because a lot of you guys in here have so much knowledge. I said, okay, I'm doing training right now. I will train you. This is what I said to my friends. I'm not going to charge much, $25 a session, and then once I get certified, my prices are going to go up. And this one lady was like, well, how do I know that's going to work? I said, I guarantee, now mind you, you should never guarantee. I guarantee if you do what I tell you to do, you're going to lose weight. Now mind you, she paid me for once a week, but I dragged her, come with me, come with me. So I had her at the gym 4 times a day. She lost the weight. I guarantee that. So before I was even finished, so like right now, and of course I had her sign a waiver and all that wonderful stuff, $25 an hour, and then every year I kind of went up. So from the personal training, I was an instructor. I teach everything right now except for Zumba. I don't like Zumba. I'm sorry, it's just not my jam. But each year I would get personal training, whether it was TRX, body pump, spin. So anyone here ever heard of Cycle Bar or Soul Cycle? Okay, I love those places. I was an instructor at Cycle Bar. Now let me tell you the money before the pandemic. Things have changed after the pandemic, let me just tell you. So they had like 55 bikes in the studio, and your pay ranged from $75 to $150 a class. It's a 45-minute class. So that's why I say like the marketing, whether it's on social media or whatever, it's all about promoting yourself and making a brand, making yourself a brand, who you are. So that's with the personal training, I was doing that. Again, in a gym, depending on where you are, like a regular New York Sports Club, depends on the years that you're there. They're going to pay you by the class. And it's very important, I always say, what you're posting, because this is who you are. It's going to stay with you forever. If you are not proud of what you're posting, meaning like, should I post that, meaning if you're at the bar drinking or whatever, would you put it on the cover of a newspaper? If you would not, then you probably should not post it, because this is going to follow you throughout your career. And I'm not going to say unfortunately, but fortunately it's great. If someone's interviewing you, at least me anyway, I'm looking at your Instagram, because you can tell a lot from a person from their Instagram and what they're doing. So, did all my training. I did yoga teacher training because I just kept wanting to get better. COVID came, as we know, everything shut down, and I started teaching. Some people hired me to do online classes. And this is going to show you how you can create your own future and your own life and money and all that wonderful stuff. This lady hired me. She had a nonprofit, and this is how you go into businesses. She said, Tina, I'll pay you $1,000 a week to teach my students. Mind you, one class. She wanted 3 classes for the week. I felt so bad for her. I was like, I'll do 5 days or whatever. And then we did it for 2 months, and unfortunately, the name of her company was Women of Color in Pharma. Black women, because again, she wanted to get black women to exercise, and not too many people were coming. We probably had 8 people, and then 5 people, and it just didn't make sense to pay me that much money. So then the ladies still wanted to work out. So I said, okay guys, I can do it on my own, Zoom. I'm sure you guys have heard of Zoom. I started teaching them. And then this was during COVID, March, April, May. I'm teaching the classes, and then it's growing and it's growing. So one thing that's super important, I'm sharing with you guys, and it's going a little deeper. You want to make yourself look super professional, right? So I said there's many apps out there, from Moxie to Artica, that are gonna say, oh, I can make you look this way. Of course, they're gonna take their percentages out. So I started teaching my classes through this app called Moxie. It looked great, made me look, it just was wonderful. They were taking 12% of what I made. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. But then the gyms opened. What do you think the gyms opened? What happened to my online business when the gyms opened? Well, people started going, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do now? They're still taking this 12%, but everybody's in business for themselves, right? So what this company did, which I did not know, so it's very important that you protect yourself. If you guys have emails, there's something called MailChimp, if you wanna write that down. Even now, as you're growing, start building your email list, because that's how you're gonna build your business, no matter what business you do. So I had to get my people signed up to them. So they were emailing my people. I was charging X amount of dollars. Let's just say I was charging $50 a month. They emailed all my people and said, hey, if you take this right here, you only have to pay $40. You can still take her classes, but then you can take other people's classes. So they were promoting other people. So 2 months in, I'm like, why is my pay dropping? What is going on? And they said, oh, well, we gave them this right here. And I said, why would you do that without even asking me? So they like cut me right there. Long story short, I left them. Now I'm back to Zoom. So when it comes to your business, it's super important that you are in total control of your email. Learn from my mistakes. You don't want to do that. So right now, as Betsy said, it was just me during COVID teaching all these classes, but it was fine because before COVID, I was teaching about 22 classes a week, and it was not work at all. I was at Cycle Bar, I was at the yoga studio in Rahway, I was at New York Sports Club, I was at 3 of their different studios, I was at LA Fitness at their different studios. And the reason why I was at so many different studios is because I did this full time. And as an instructor, you're not going to have one instructor teaching every day, all day, because people like variety, right? So that's why I went to different studios. And again, at any point in time, if you guys have a question, just raise your hand and say, hey, how did you do that? Whatever, because it's super simple. So right now, I'm working at Orange Theory, love it, as assistant manager. I've also been managers of other clubs. So I don't know if you guys ever heard of UFC or Club Metro. And I loved it. A friend of mine, she was like, Tina, we need a manager in our gym. And I was like, give me the details. Okay, give it to me. And I did it, and I loved it. But sometimes the owners of gyms are really cheap. And what I mean by really cheap, the treadmills were like not good, and people were getting hurt. And they wanted me to tell the members, oh yeah, this is gonna be fixed, and it just never happened. So I left that particular gym. Another gym, UFC. You think, oh, all this money. So some people get gyms because they just have money. So apparently this person, his dad gave him all this money, and he bought this gym. He knew absolutely nothing. Again, anyone ever been to a gym and things are breaking apart and falling apart? No? You guys don't go to the gym so often? It's pretty crappy, right? It's just like the punching bag, there's a hole in it. When's it gonna get fixed? Oh yeah, it's gonna get fixed soon. And I look like an idiot and I feel horrible. No matter what I do, I have to believe in the product. I have to believe of what I'm doing, or I just can't sell it. I can't do it. So I left that gym. And then she said, North Carolina, it's all again about relationships. So when I worked in Livingston Cycle Bar, go there if you haven't. COVID happened, it shut down. I moved to Houston, to Texas with family for whatever reason. And I came to visit New Jersey, and my old manager, he's like, Tina, what are you doing with your life right now? I'm like, I don't know, it's COVID, I'm just teaching classes online. And he was like, well, why don't you come to North Carolina? I have my studio there, I have an extra apartment, I have a car there. I said, give me an offer. He gave me an offer. I moved to North Carolina. I absolutely loved working at the studio. I loved it there. There were some issues with some of the staff, so I left there, but I stayed in North Carolina. Lots of friends there. But again, like now I'm at Orange Theory. I love it, but I don't know why I'm so hungry. I'm not gonna say greedy, I'm just gonna say hungry. I always want more and more and more. So I still had my online business going with me, just teaching the classes. I teach 6 o'clock in the morning, and then weekends, some night times. I had to get surgery in October, so I wasn't going to be able to teach for 2 months. You have no idea how hard that was for me. I legit gained 20 pounds. Okay, so I did go to Paris and London, and so I was eating like crazy, but still I couldn't exercise. And I'm like, okay, Tina, for 2 months, you have these people coming. What are you going to do? So one of my students that was really good, I said, okay, listen, this is what we're going to do. You're going to be my body, and I'm going to talk. So I would have her do the moves as I'm talking. Again, making a pivot. In life, sometimes you have to do that. You may be on track to do this certain job right here, but then something happens, whether it's COVID or whether it's whatever. So you always have to be ready to move no matter what. Be very adaptable, okay? Getting uncomfortable is super important as well. I talk about that all the time, is getting uncomfortable. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and then push through a little more. So long story short, she's teaching these classes and we're getting closer to the time where I'm going to be able to teach. And I want real people. Like, teaching online is cool, but teaching to humans is amazing, the energy that you feel. So I said, don't you want to teach one class a week so I can teach people? And she's like, sure. So I was like, that's a great idea. And then I started thinking, okay, who else can I get to teach? Because there's a lot of people who are at home or businesses who have people that want to exercise. So I just started reaching out, and now I have about 7 different instructors, especially doing yoga as well, which is amazing. And that's just like extra money, depending on how much you want to make. I also got certified in something called life and health coaching, which I love even, I'm not going to say even more, but I do like that as well. So that's the online business. And the point of this whole conversation of my little story is, as you can tell, now that I think about it, I never thought about this before. I think I have done everything in the fitness industry. Has anyone ever here ever thought about being a manager of a gym, maybe their own gym or any other gym? You want to do your own or someone else's?
I'll start off like someone else's.
What type of gym are you on? Because you know there's different types, right? You have like that boutique type. That's sort. Anyone here ever do CrossFit? No one's done CrossFit? Okay, thank you, girlfriend. Let's say what is wrong with you guys. You have to try CrossFit. You don't look like a CrossFit person, but it looks like something you would like. And a lot of these gyms, you have to think about it. I'm not going to say they're culty, but like he said, finding your brand, finding your niche, finding your vibe. I always say your vibe is your tribe. And when I say vibe, that's your vibration. Who do you vibe with? Who's got your back or whatever? Anyone else? Who wants? What about you? Your own? Okay, performance, like for athletes, maybe runners or stuff like that. And that's really good, guys. If you're very specific with what you want to do, finding your niche, however the heck you want to say, super important. Because if you say, well, you know, I want to help everybody, you're really not going to get that many people. But if you say, I want to get students that want to play basketball and football, you're narrowing it down like that. If you say you want to get guys who want to look great or whatever, you know, super, super important. So I saw someone over here who wanted to either Matt, what about you?
Just like a weightlifting gym.
Okay.
Open it up.
Okay, so weightlifting more of like a UFC or more of like one of those
Like
Arnold
bodybuilding.
Schwarzenegger, just like weight, just like
Yeah.
this. Urgh. And I say that because, guys, I have been in every kind of gym. When I first started losing weight, I went to this gym. It was in Newark. And first of all, I didn't want to go because it was in Newark. I was like, I'm going to Newark. Mind you, I did live in Newark for 2 years. I went to high school there. And the gym was legit. Like, they just got stuff from the junkyard. Like, they had these huge tires, they had all, but I loved it, the energy. So it doesn't matter what the place looked like. Has anyone ever been to like a warehouse, which was a gym? Cold, dirt, those are just like, again, it's all about the vibe and the people there. What about you? Wonderful. Now, when it comes to personal training, the type of gym is super important. So you have like your Equinox, your Lifetime. Those are the higher ends, which is really, really, you know, up there, which is cool. And then you have your regular small gyms like the YMCA. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you start somewhere. Or you can start right now. You know, I see people, someone's looking at you like, oh my God, she's amazing. You know, if you're posting stuff, and you can say, hey, you want a personal trainer? Or just start posting things like that as well. Now, anyone here want to be like athletic trainer or anything like that? Anyone? No? Okay, seems like I haven't done that, but my daughter has once, you know, she's told me about it, so I was going to give you some information for that. So yeah, opening your type of business. Let's see, ways to motivate people. So when you have clients, whether it's personal trainers, whether it's someone in your gym or whatever, it's super important that you find the why. And you can also take this back for yourself as well. I said this earlier, you want to pull that onion away. Why do you want to work out? It's so super important. And then give them the vision of how their life will be better once they've done this. So what I like to do with my clients is I'll say, so why do you want to lose weight, or why do you want to exercise? And then get them envisioning. So with this right here, I like to talk about morning and evening rituals. Anyone here have any rituals or habits that they do every day? Well, this is going to be, oh my God, what are yours? Some of yours.
I wake up at like 7 in the morning, and then when I get coffee, and I start drinking.
Love it. Raise your hand if the first thing you do is make your bed. Can I see anyone? Woo! Do you know how amazing that is? I know it sounds crazy. I didn't used to do this. And then I did. I mean, it doesn't have to be a fancy makeup, guys. Just roll those covers up and get them going. And what that does, it lets your mind realize you've accomplished something for that day. Boom, that quickly. Now some examples, I'm going to talk about rituals, routines, and habits. So for myself, I like to be organized. There's a book. I'm going to give you guys some books. You don't have to read them. Let's get the ebook. They're freaking amazing. One of them is the 5 a.m. Club. I should know who it's by, but I don't. And then another one, he talks about morning rituals and he talks about savers. So write this down. Savers, right? S-A-V-E-R-S. The S, this is something that you can do in the morning. So when you first wake up in the morning, just stay there and be silent. Listen to what's going on where you are. Just be silent. Be still. Because I don't know about you, I used to just wake up and go. Anyone do that? You just get up and go. It's like, oh my God, the alarm clock went off. I like her. She's like, no, I need to keep still. Okay? Just be still when you get up. The A stands for affirmations. Does anyone know what an affirmation is? Anyone have affirmations? I would love to hear some. Anyone? Okay. Can't hear you.
I said, are affirmations like rules?
Yes, somewhat. What about you? Yes. I love that. Say it again. Yes, I do not chase, I attract what belongs to me. So this is super important. If you guys don't realize, affirmations are things you say to yourself to motivate you. Anyone ever heard of a vision board or done a vision board or something like that? Another thing, so important. So this is off topic, but I'm going to share because it is so true. A vision board, it could be a poster, it could be a board or something that you put up and you see it every single day. Your mind is going to see this and it's like, wow, that's true. So every year, my daughter and I, we do vision boards around from Christmas to New Year's. And about 3 or 4 years ago, my daughter's a professional dancer, and we're making our vision boards and we're looking in magazines, cutting stuff, whatever. And before you put it on the board, you cut in things that you want. And she's looking, she's like, oh my God. She's looking in Lifestyle or Health Life, I don't know, one of those freaking magazines. And she sees a picture of herself. And she's like, oh my gosh. Her goal was to get into a magazine. I said, girl, your goals are too small. You have to think big. I'm gonna wake you guys up right now. I want you guys to repeat after me. When I say think big, I want you to scream times 10. Do you think you can do that? Yes, think big! That was too weak. That was like so weak. When you're thinking big, like if you want a car, you want a Lamborghini, you want a boat, you want a yacht, think big! Oh my gosh, that is horrible. I sound louder than all of you guys. Can we try that again? Think big! Thank you. That is better, okay? So you have to get motivated. You have to get excited. No one wants to be around someone who's boring. Like, dude, I don't have time for that. The point of the story is her vision board. She's looking for something that she already had. So I'm like, you have to think bigger. Going back to the A, affirmations, where I told you I drift off, right? Affirmations are things you say to yourself to keep you going. It's like a goal, but pretty much they're I am statements. So what are your I am statement? I am amazing. I am positive. I'm going to go around the room and I want you guys to think right now of something that you can say for yourself. For myself, I pretty much say the same thing over and over again. There was one point where I would say my affirmations 5 times a day. I would put an alarm in my phone. I'd put it on a piece of paper in my car. I was looking at them all the time. And it was something like, I am amazing. I have an abundance of time. I have an abundance of money. I surround myself with positive people. These are just things that you're drilling into your head so that you always have them. So we're starting with you. Ready? I am. Well, actually, Betsy, you go first.
I am strong and capable.
I am authentic.
I am awesome.
I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am strong. I am amazing. That's what I see when I look at you. What about you?
Actually, smart and excited.
I am smart and exciting. Love it.
I am a worker.
Love it.
I am strong.
I am motivated.
Love it. And another thing you can do too when you're doing these I am statements, anyone ever heard of the term fake it till you make it? Anyone? Some of you probably fake it a lot. No, I'm joking. But anyway, fake it till you make it. You may not be positive. You may not have a lot of money, all right? But by saying these things, you're attracting it to your body. I have an abundance of money. I have an abundance of time. I am strong. What's yours?
I am dedicated and committed.
I am dedicated and committed. Love it.
I'm strong and confident.
Beautiful. I love it. I am what? Positive. I am enough. You said yours before, but I want to hear it again. Or if you have a new one. I'm confident. I love the one that she said, I am enough. I heard that sometimes because sometimes in life, people think they have to give a lot more, they have to do enough, do more. You are enough just the way you are. Now, I'm not saying don't do anything. I'm not saying don't work or push yourself, but I am enough is great. What about you? What's your I am statement?
I'm great.
I'm great. Okay.
I'm strong.
I'm strong.
I am motivated. I'm
Strong.
strong.
Say it again.
Health.
Alf.
I am health.
I have health. Okay, give me another one.
I'm powerful.
Oh, I am powerful. Hey, you know, you should hear it. I am powerful. Love it. I am amazing. I am different. Love that. So these are things you want to say to yourself, and I challenge you to write down 3 to 5 different I am statements. I challenge you to say them every single morning. When you wake up, when you look in the morning, look at yourself. I am amazing. I am powerful. And if you don't feel that way, guess what? It's eventually going to happen. So the S stands for silence, the A stands for affirmations, and the V stands for visualization. Anyone ever heard of that word? Visualization? Of course you have. Visualizing the life that you want. Visualizing how you want to look. Before I had lost weight, because I was like a little baby whale, I was on Instagram and I would follow all these fitness people. So when I was scrolling Instagram, okay, my face was on their body. Visualizing what it is. If you want to have that gym, start thinking of the name of the gym. Start thinking of your logo. Start thinking of your brand colors. Thinking of your model, your mission. Visualize it. See it. Not only see it, but smell it. All right? Embrace the sound. For example, like if your thing is to go on vacation, where are you going? Do you feel the sun on your face? Do you feel the wind blowing through your hair? One time I was visualizing so much, I woke up and I'm like, where the heck am I? This is, it's like you're psyching yourself out. So the V is visualization. S-A-V-E, exercise. Does everyone here exercise every day? Be honest. Exercise is amazing. And I'm not talking about you have to go full beast mode and everything, but just moving your body. Every single morning, get up and do something. Even if it's just for 20 minutes. It gets super easier as you go through. Your heart and your body loves it, so exercise. S-A-V-E-R, reading. And yes, reading school books is cool, but reading something that's going to, thank you, sweetie, that's going to empower you. I love reading motivational books, and I wasn't really a reader before. I'm going to share something with you guys, and I really didn't even plan on sharing this story with you guys. But the only reason why I'm talking about it is because my son in high school, he wasn't really a reader. He barely passed high school. And I remember I would watch videos, like YouTube videos. Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins. Anyone ever heard of these people? Les Brown. Okay, Eric Thomas the Bomb, Tony Robbins, all those guys. And every morning I would send him and his sister a YouTube video. Watch this, watch this, watch this. I don't think they ever watched it. And he's like, yo, Mom, you don't need to watch these videos. You need to read books. You need to meditate. Anyone here meditate? Meditation's so important. I couldn't really get into it. But I say that to say, again, sorry that I'm getting off topic, but just thinking about him and reading, my son was 21 years old when he was murdered. He had a sneaker store in Rahway. He was such a go-getter. And I guess because it came after me or whatever. And he would tell me things, and I'd look at him like, boy, you're crazy. 18 years old, he was supposed to go to college. He went to college for a week, and then he dropped out because he's like, Mom, I want to open a sneaker store. And I'm just like, I knew nothing about sneakers at the time. And I'm like, that's crazy. We had all these sneakers in the house. I didn't know what was going on. He opened up one store with a friend. Something happened with that. He opened up another store in Rahway. This was about 6 years ago this happened. And he was murdered. And I say this to say, I remember one day we're in the car, and he's just good with networking, as Betsy said in the beginning. He met this guy in in Staten Island, still New York. His name was Ghost. He's really big into sneakers. They did business together. I remember one time we're in the car, and he threw me a bag of money. And I'm like, what is this? And I opened it. It was $10,000. Just like, what is this for? He says, I want you to know what it feels like to have $10,000 in your hand, because if you're not visualizing something, if you're not feeling something, you don't think it's possible, okay? And the point is, he had all these dreams and goals, and I'd look at him like, you're crazy. Okay, maybe I did say it. But my point is you have to make your mind just really grow. And sometimes we need people to say, you know what? You can own your own business. You can have a staff of 50 people. You can make $1 million. You can make $10 million. But you have to think about it and grow. And I'm getting off topic, and I'm sorry, guys. So S is silence, A, affirmations, V, visualization, E, exercise, R, reading, S, scribing. And I heard her talking about it earlier, journaling. I wish I did these all the time, but I'm like kind of off. Journaling is so important, but the most important thing about journaling is journaling what you're grateful for. Living in a state of gratitude is so important. Like some of us are just like, oh my gosh, my life sucks, I gotta go to school. Well, some people can't even go to school. They don't even have water to drink. So when you get in that woe is me, my life sucks, think about someone else who doesn't have what you have. All right, so those are some examples of savers. I have my own that I do. I actually believe in starting the day the night before. So the night before, first of all, does anyone know how many hours of sleep they need or want to get every night? Anyone? Awesome. Jealous, because Lord knows when I was younger I wasn't into that. First, figure out, well, do you want 7 hours? Do you want 8 hours? What is it that your body physically needs? And then be smart and go to bed so you have enough time to do that. And then, whatever time you decide to wake up in the morning, again, I challenge you to wake up an hour earlier. All right, I now get up at 4 because 5 just wasn't enough for me. That extra golden hour in the morning gives so much more energy to you. And I didn't do the calculations, but I was told when you wake up an hour early, you gain an extra month. So instead of having 12 months in the year, you look at the math first, maybe you can figure it out, let me know. You have 13 months in the year if you wake up an hour early, and it's just pretty amazing. So that's the rules, the rituals, habits. I put them all like that because pretty much for me, they're all the same thing. You get used to doing the same thing, and then you grow from it. You just want to be better and better. Ways to build your business and brand, I said that there. Find out what you're passionate about. Once you find that out, guys, and make a plan. It is so simple. Like I told you, when it comes to this fitness game, it's like, oh my gosh, I feel I've done so much. Any questions, like I said before, just raise your hands. Whether it's managing a gym, owning your own gym, doing all that sort of stuff, make a plan of what you want. We're doing pretty good on, oh, that's it? Okay, I think that's it. I guess so. Any questions? Talk to me, Phil. Anyone? Did I see your hand? No? No questions at all? Yes.
So like, how old were you when you first like started being a personal trainer?
So I'm about to be 50 soon, and I've only been in the industry. So I started years ago, but I wasn't like serious. I just kind of did it for fun. So it was probably like 8 years ago. But professionally, and when I say professionally, I mean like that's all I do, because you have some people who have like part-time jobs or this, that, and the other. But in this industry, I'm going to talk about other people that I know as well, and I just have to brag on her because I'm just like super impressed. But I guess my daughter I'm talking about, she's a professional dancer, but her whole life she's wanted to be in the industry of dancing or modeling or acting, that sort of thing. And now, like I told Betsy, she was a dancer for the New York Knicks. Yeah, she was a dancer for the New York Knicks 3 years, and they had athletic trainers. And she said they'd come in and they like do all this stuff to her, and she's like, it's so cool. Now she wants to do that, and that's just a whole different way. So that's why it's super important when you're young to decide what you want so you're not wasting time. If when I was in college like you, someone said, well, Tina, you know, because I Googled it, it said like $19,000 a year. Let's just even say it said 25 or 30. I'm like, that's no money, I don't want to do that. There's so much money you can make and multiple streams of income. This right here, being in the fitness industry, can be a stepping stone to what you want to do. If you want to open your business, and then maybe you want to get into real estate, or maybe you want to do something else, you still have the foundation here for that extra money that's coming in all the time. Does anyone ever think about how much money they want to make? And no? What about you? What do you want to do with your money? Help people do what? Why?
Just develop like games and stuff like that. Get back to people.
Okay, and why do you want to do that?
Because not everybody has the advantage of everybody else has. So it's kind of like making people kind of.
Okay. Did anyone help you with that for yourself?
I always felt like I was here.
No, I mean, did anyone help you as you were coming up? Okay. And I say that to say because sometimes when we want to do certain things, it's because we didn't have. You know, it's like, well, you know what, I'm gonna help someone out. That's why I wish, oh my gosh, just to save time. You know, as kids, I don't know about you guys, but I was stubborn. I still am stubborn. I just wish I wasn't stubborn because it would have saved so much time, money, effort, and all that sort of stuff if you just listen to people that have done what you want to do. Another thing, let's just say you want to be a coach for the Jets, or you want to be a you know, whatever it is you want to do. Nowadays, it is, I'm not going to say it's simple, but it's very attainable. Where years ago, you'd have to go to school and do this and hope and guess. Now all you have to do is Google. You can contact someone, go on social media, and even just being like a social media influencer. There's money in that as well, where they pay you for your post and that whole thing, whether it's in fitness and that whole thing. What made you guys, I'm just curious, say that I'm going to take this to the next level into fitness? Was there something that happened in your life, an awakening moment that had you say, I'm going to do this? Anyone have a aha moment with fitness that made you want to come?
So I had a trainer before, and then her story actually motivated me to be able to students and more, because she has multiple incomes as well, and be able to network, and that's what really persuaded me to be like, you know what, I could be my own boss, I could become special, and just grow my network. And right now I'm doing observation hours in LA, and from there networking with people in that aspect that are all professional, they offer me to even work there, they want to be personal training, you know, if I'm ready.
Something I want to add on to what she said is when it comes to motivating people, because you said your trainer, you saw what she was doing, is doing the FFF when you're talking to someone. For example, someone may say, oh, well, I don't want to do this because, well, I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but what I found was. That's a tool that you can speak to when you're talking to people to try to motivate them to do certain sort of things. You never want to tell someone, well, you should do this, well, you should do that. You want to encourage them. You know, I invite you to do this. This might be nice for you. This has worked for me. I always like to turn things into myself. Well, this is what worked for me. I do this. You may want to try it, things like that. So that's super important. And sharing, like you may not have a story that's that in depth. You know, sharing someone else's story and doing your homework. What about you? What made you want to get into fitness? Mm-hmm.
Really the only thing I really like.
What do you like about it?
Changed my life.
How?
Like I used to do skincare, so building myself up, being confidence.
Do you think it built you up mentally as well?
Yeah.
So true. I mean, guys, if you ever think like you might feel depressed or sad or anxious, and I know it sounds really crazy, but trust me, go outside, get a nature bath. Nature bath, I call when you just go outside and go for a walk, lift some weights, it just changes something. Also, you know, your breath work. And there are so many different things you can do. There's pole dancing, there's CrossFit, there's something out there for everyone. And I say this because last night I went to a step class, my first step class. I was just like, okay, this is whack. But I did it anyway. Give it a shot. Like I said, you've got to try CrossFit. It's like a high. I mean, I've never done crack before, but sometimes when you're working out, it feels so good. And I say this, oh my God, you guys are adults, right? It's like better than sex sometimes. It's like, I'd rather be on this damn treadmill, just get, you know, because it's just so inviting and so it's just energy. What about you? What made you want to get into fitness?
I watched the video and it just like it changed my perspective, and working out is just like getting better every day, just on yourself. No matter how bad your day was, you're constantly working on yourself.
What kind of video did you watch?
I saw a guy like transformation video and I was like, I want to transform too.
Does anyone want to help their family? Does anyone like look at their family members and say, oh wow, because that's for me. And they don't listen, and it pisses me off. It's like, come on now, why are you eating that? You know? What are some ways that you think you can help the community and the world? Both of you, just curious, you go first. In regards to fitness.
No, I'm just like, when I shake my head, I was just like thinking about my dad. Because I was like, he had an injury too, so I was like, how am I going to eat better? I was trying to lose weight to feel better. So like, over COVID, like, I started working out a lot more, and I kind of changed my body. And I just felt like I was like, gaining more confidence in myself. And I was looking at him, he was always like sad, kind of on the couch, always watching movies. And I was like, trying to help him eat, I try to get him to work out, so I'm kind of it. Yeah, it's fun for him, it's good.
Do you guys know how special and how unique you are? Think about the people in your life and what do they do on a daily basis? What do they eat? How do they move? And I say that because I'm staying with my girlfriend, and this morning I taught my class at 6 o'clock in the basement where she is, and then she comes downstairs. Her son used to be a football player, for whatever school, I don't know. And then he stopped playing and she's like, oh my God, Tina, what did you say to him? What are you doing? I'm like, you can turn it off. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, Marquise, he was upstairs and he was doing sit-ups last night and he said, I'll use almond milk. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I don't know if it's my energy being in the home. Okay, I did make fun of his Fruity Pebbles because when I was a fat girl, every single night I'd lay in bed with my Fruity Pebbles. So when I saw it in her house, I started screaming. I was like, oh my God, because it's like crack. And sugar is like crack. So I guess, again, the energy, the people that you're around are going to feel that vibe. So for you, anyone that any of you are around, and give little subtle tips. Even though sometimes I'm not subtle at all.